viewers, my name is Ian and welcome to the Academy. Now ever since I posted my HMS Hood diorama, I have been asked many times, mostly through PMs, a couple of comments on, Ian, how did you make the water effects? And today I am finally, after many months, going to go over that for all of you today. Now you can go to your local model store or hobby store and pick up some Woodland Scenic water effects. The bottle is about this big. This obviously isn't it. This is acrylic thinner. But the bottle is about this big, give or take half an ounce or so. Only problem is, it's $20. Now I don't know about you, I'm not 100% willing to shell out 20 bucks for some white goo that turns clear. So we will not be using that today. But I am willing to shell out $3 and a drive to my local hardware store to get a tube of clear bathroom silicone sealant. And along with that, shelling out another $1.50, a nice... For this tutorial, I am going to be demonstrating this technique on this piece of cardboard. And cardboard is what the HMS Hood is set in, so I know this does work as a stable base. Regardless of these little ribs that show up, the silicone will cover that in the end, trust me. Now for the simplicity of this tutorial, we're only going to use 3 basic colors. You can obviously vary them any way you like, anywhere from brown and murky waters, or I know for a fact that the 2 oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific, along with many other bodies of water, have different color schemes. But for today, we're going to be using acrylic navy blue, acrylic lighter blue. This one is specifically called Blue Heaven, and a little bit, but extremely important, just some straight up white. Now we're going to start by painting this piece of cardboard a full coat of navy blue. Now this first coat can be fairly heavy. I did put a little too much paint on it, and I did a very quick work with this since the acrylic paint will flatten out, more or less, and that is okay. You don't have to worry about brush strokes, just as long as you do not see any of the cardboard leaking through. So we're going to let this dry, and then we are going to add our frothy pattern with the light blue. So now that our base color has dried, we are now going to add the froth that is associated with a wave or a wake. I'm going to be doing a ship wake on this for this demonstration, and they typically have more curved paths than just a straight path that a regular wave does. So we are breaking out the light blue, and since we're not going to be using as much, we are going to use a cup to contain most of it. And there we have our basic wave pattern. Nothing too fancy or too special, but for our intents and purposes, it's a very good start. Now we'll just let this dry, and then we will begin to add the actual water texture that this is known for. Alright, so we've let our demonstration pad dry completely, down to the touch. Now we are going to add the actual wave effects, and this is a very good baseline for fairly calm ocean waters. If you need rougher waves, we'll get into that, which is really just building up more and more layers of this stuff. So we have our demonstration pad, our silicone in a gun ready to go with a fairly small bit of the tip cut off, ready to go. A popsicle stick, and unfortunately there's another tool here that I'm sure most of you actually don't have. I went on eBay, I went on every store imaginable trying to track down this really weird specific tool. I finally found it on Craigslist. I had to drive across 3 states to get to this guy so I could get it, and even then it cost me an arm and a leg. But this extremely special tool that you pretty much can't do this without, which really sucks, is a spoon. A plastic spoon. I think this is a soup spoon. I think it's kind of deep, but I don't really care about the type, and neither should you, as long as it is a spoon of the plastic variety. Yeah, I found this in my kitchen. So what we are going to do is we are going to take our silicone and we are going to spread it completely over this entire thing. We're going to use a popsicle stick to just spread it out. And it comes out white, and don't worry, it will dry crystal clear. Now we have our silicone completely spread out, and it's fairly thin, so it will not take the allotted 72 hours for it to dry, thankfully. Now, you don't have to worry about all these brush strokes, all the, I guess, popsicle stick strokes, because those are all going to go away once we're finished with this. Now, to finish off this water effect, all you have to do, I find it helpful to think of someone you don't like. So now you can see that our water is very well beat up, and what this does is it creates the texture that the waves are going to have. Now if you want larger waves, you apply the mixture on a little thicker. If you want smaller waves, it's the opposite. You apply it a little bit thinner. Now I would like to leave this overnight to dry, since even though it's not super thick, it's still going to take a while. Definitely, I'd say more than 5 hours or so.